Thank you for checking out my channel. This is your official spoiler warning, so I'll give you some time to get out if you haven't watched my other videos or you want to watch One Piece yourself. So basically, if I'm picking up from where I left off on my other video, the last video displayed Doflamingo's bird cage, which is a move that can basically trap everyone in the cage, and the cage constricts, killing everyone inside using sharp strings. So he's announcing that, okay, if you want to get out of the bird cage, you have to kill me first. Or there was the actual deal was if Doflamingo got the heads of the traitors or the intruders, which are the Straw Hat Pirates and Law's people or whatever, or the royal family, then he would stop the bird cage. Or if someone comes and kills him, then the bird cage will stop. But now I think in this game they're taking the direct kill me and everything will stop route. So they found out that Doflamingo was on the Royal Plateau, and just to let you know, the Royal Plateau is made of stone, and Pika is a stone assimilation human, so he can basically swim in stone and make himself into a stone human. Now, he is not a stone Logia type because his stone, he has to siphon stones from other places. He can swim inside of stones, but his body isn't really made of a stone. He can still bleed, but he can go into a stone and shape it to where that's his body. So he can go inside of a stone and he can shape that stone to whatever he wants to. And in this case, or in the case of the anime, he would shape the stones into his own body. Now he faces off against Zoro. That will be shown later. I'm going to talk about it when it gets there. But first I'm going to go ahead and talk more about Law and his devil fruit. So Law, the person that I'm playing with, his name is Trafalgar Law. And I told you he has the power to make that giant room or a giant sphere or a dome or whatever, that he can cut things, remove people's hearts, he can scan people's personal health, whatever. As long as he has you in that room, then you're basically helpless. So if he traps you in that room, he can swing his blade and everyone in that room gets caught, no matter where you are located. Now, the funny thing, not funny, but the weird thing about Law's devil fruit is that Law has the power, it won't explain it in the game, but Law has the power to give up his own life to make someone else immortal. Now, I don't know how that's done, but it's like a final move. It's kind of like an operation where I think he puts himself into his own room and he gives you extra mortality, making you immortal. I don't know if he's gonna use it. They've been saying this for like almost the entire time we've known Law. So I think he's gonna use it. I think that's how he's gonna end up dying, because there's gonna be a lot of disappointment if Law dies by somebody else and he doesn't end up using this ability that everyone's talking about. Either he dies and he gives someone else immortality, or someone else kills him and they don't. And here's the thing, if Law gives somebody else immortality and he dies, does that mean his devil fruit goes out into the world so someone else can eat it and make someone else immortal? And if that's the case, that means every time someone uses that ability, there'll be more and more immortal people. I mean, I don't know if that's how it's gonna happen, but whatever. So Law can basically reach into you, steal your heart, and if he squeezes your heart, you basically feel it. He can switch people's hearts. That means your bodies are switched, so you can feel like you're in a different body. And yeah, he has more powers. And that sword he has, it's kind of like it's like a long-range sword that can cut people from like a long distance. But I think that's all his sword can do. So what they're doing now is they're going up to the Royal Plateau, and they're attempting to take down Doflamingo to stop the birdcage. Now, Law does have history with Doflamingo. When Law was a kid, he would train under Virgo. It's a person that you would see in Punk Hazard. You know, the two arcs that this game just casually skipped over like we weren't going to notice. He was in Punk Hazard, and he trained Law, and he would always beat Law because he was always that powerful. He had a mastery in armament hockey, and he could make his bamboo staff, as hard as a rock. So, in the end, Law beat him, and Law basically tore apart the entire Smile factory, and Smile is the artificial devil fruits that are made. Those devil fruits are made, I think they explain it, but I'm going to explain it now. So Caesar Clown, the one we saw in Punk Hazard, he was making Smile fruits. The Smile fruits are artificial devil fruits. That means they're man-made. They're man-made by Caesar. Caesar would in turn give those to Doflamingo, and Doflamingo would distribute those. So Caesar was basically working for Doflamingo, and Doflamingo would give those Smile fruits to Kaido. Now, I won't tell you about Kaido just yet, because Kaido is a big part in an arc that's two arcs from. He's the next arc, not the next arc, but not the next arc, but the arc after that. So Kaido is, just know he is a Zohan type fruit user, and he's a Zohan type fruit user. He's the strongest being alive, and he's one of the 4 great pirate emperors of the sea. That's all I'm going to tell you now until he is properly introduced, which I don't know about properly introduced, because this game has a habit of moving too far into the anime and not giving the anime a good ending. Because I know in Pirate Warriors 3, it ended in Dressrosa, but they didn't really end Dressrosa in the anime or the manga yet. So it ended with all of the Straw Hats coming in and beating all of Doflamingo's clones, and then Luffy just knocking Doflamingo out, which didn't really happen if you've seen the anime. So I can expect something weird to happen at the end, and I hope they address that. So back to this game. If you noticed, I have a counter above my head. So that counter is the amount of time I have before Dressrosa is wiped out by the strings. So I have that much time to basically bypass everybody, go up to the Royal Plateau, and beat Doflamingo. But I guess the more people I beat, the more time I get. And I think I have to beat certain people. I don't know. And I think Law doesn't really have a transformation. His full burst basically just makes him more powerful, which I can deal with. I can deal with that. That's fun. Oh, also, Law can use this move called Shambles. He can take two objects and switch them. Like, if he, if there was two people, he can switch the places of those two people. He can intimidate, he can copy flying by throwing a coin up, making the room, switching places with the coin, and his body is basically just propelled. Don't ask me how it works. Just know that that's how he initiates flying, by throwing a coin or something or a rock and switching places with it. But as like a fighting type, I think Law is my least favorite in the game, because you have to make the room in order to hit people. Because in the other game, I don't think you had to make the room in order to hit people. Because you didn't have to make the room, you can just hit people. But in this one, you can't damage someone unless they're in the room. They really screwed Pika over in this one, because Pika can't even, he can move, but he can't move around. So if he stands in one place, that's kind of bad, like, for him. Yeah, you give me the ability to jump and I'm in the air for like a majority of the fight. It's annoying. He's just saying room, 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 room. It gets annoying. Also, I think that's inaccurate. The way he switches cannonballs and the cannonballs blow up. I don't think cannonballs explode, because I think cannonballs are basically balls that are shot out of cannons the way a gun is the way a bullet is fired out of a gun. So when you shoot a gun, the bullet doesn't explode, but the gun shoots the bullet. So I think that's kind of inaccurate. It's kind of inaccurate how Law switches places with cannonballs, and the cannonballs explode, because cannonballs don't explode. There's also one thing I forgot to mention about Law's ability. Law has the power to cut people's heads off, and their heads they can still be conscious. They can still be alive and talking while their heads are chopped off, but their head is separated from their body. Now he can put that head anywhere on the person's body. He can attach it to their back, to their foot, to their stomach, whatever. But if anything is chopped off outside of Law's room, he can't put that back. He can reattach limbs if it's cut off by his ability, but he can't reattach limbs that were cut off not by his ability. So if his arm were to be cut off by someone, he can't reattach it. In the anime, someone had to reattach his arm that was missing, because he got into a fight with Doflamingo, which is the fight you're gonna see earlier, or you're not gonna see the arm being detached, but you'll see anything being detached, because I guess this is that kind of game. I think I'm almost done with Pika, because Pika's not moving anywhere, so I doubt he's gonna beat me. But I shouldn't be at the red at this point, so I don't know why it's taking me so long to defeat him. Oh my god, Law is just... I mean, I like him as a character, but Law is just something else. All I need to do is hit him one more time. Just one more time. There we go. Okay, so this is the fight I was telling you about. So this is Zoro versus Pika. So you see how Pika slides into the earth and becomes that stone human. So what Zoro is doing right now is he's getting ready to cut Pika, but since Pika's body's hard, he's saying, "Oh, you can't cut me, you can't cut me." But Zoro learned from Mihawk how to coat his blades in hockey so that he's able to cut more things and his blades won't get chipped.
Wow.
So it's like he goes in and he just cuts him off by the waist. So what Zoro figures out is that if he separates Pika's body into like pieces, Pika has to be in one of those missing pieces.
Which is stupid.
So he cuts the arm in 3 pieces. So Pika has to be in either one of those pieces. So he's in that piece right there. But unless the other 2 pieces touch, he can't go into those other 2 pieces. He has to stay into that. He has to stay into that one piece of stone until that piece of stone touches another piece of stone. And he's saying, "Oh, my body's hard because of my hockey. You can't cut me." But then he doesn't really anticipate that his blades are covered in hockey, and Pika just gets wrecked. That's basically the end of the fight. Pika loses to Zoro, and I don't think I mentioned, I mean, you may have heard it in the game, but Pika has like a really annoying voice. It's funny, but it's like hella annoying. So yeah, he cut Pika off by the waist, and that's how Pika got... Oh, that's not how he got eliminated, because hurting the stone doesn't mean you hurt Pika, but... yeah, that's how Pika got knocked out. So at this point, it's only Treble and Doflamingo. Treble isn't in the game though. I don't know why, but then again, there's a lot of people who are supposed to be in the game that aren't. I kind of feel bad for the people who got turned into toys, because just think about that. You get turned into a toy, and everyone forgets who you are, and it's like you have to live as like a slave. And basically, imagine if this is like a tourist attraction, right? And everyone was saying, "Look at all the good little toys and whatnot," but then you didn't know that all of these toys were being controlled by one person, and you had to watch your child and wife forget you, or child or husband or whatever forget you because you're too busy stuck as a toy. So it's like your wife moved on, married somebody else, your son doesn't remember you, and you have to live your entire life from now on being within sight but not actually doing anything. Like, that wife or that husband can marry an abusive spouse, and they can be like hurting your family, and you have to sit there and you can't do anything because you're a toy. And it's like toys can't attack humans. That's one of the rules. And I think that law was made because if you're a toy, you still have all your memories. So you can basically attack someone and still remember it, but that's why that law was put into place. Because if it wasn't, then all the toys would revolt. There's also little fairy people who work in Dressrosa too. They work in the Smile Factory. They were enslaved by Treble and Doflamingo to make smile fruits, and I don't think they'll mention this, but I'll mention this now. those smile fruits are used to amplify Kaido's army of beast pirates, because all of Kaido's subordinates have some type of Zohan fruit. So remember what I said about the 3 types of Zohan fruit? The mythical ones, which are the dragons, chimeras, hydras, they're the ancient ones, T-Rex, velociraptors, pterodactyls. Then there are the normal ones like goats, sheep, horses, things like that. So I'm currently trying to make my way to the plateau right now, but I have to beat Diamante for like the 15th time because he keeps coming back. But you have to beat him again. But I think this is the last time I have to face him. Because if anime serves right in my mind, then if I beat him, then it's the plateau that I don't have to see him anymore. The room is not good for like fast enemies, because if you trap somebody in a room, what will stop them from like dashing to their left so you can't hit them? Can I kill him with my special move? Yep, I can. Oh, he didn't die. He didn't die. Kill him. Kill him. There we go. So in this fight, he's I don't know who he was fighting. I guess he was fighting Kiros, but this scene is like he's trying to stick her up, and he's saying basically, "Oh, I was the one who killed your mother. Kill her. I shot her.
Look, she's
I
right
shot
there.
her with a
Just
gun, a pistol, and yeah, I killed her.
Just stop talking and do
And
it.
this is the exact same gun I killed her with."
Okay, we
So
know,
he keeps
we know.
mentioning his
Swing your
gun,
sword and kill her.
and if a person talks this
Okay,
long,
we
you know
know
someone's
you
gonna
killed
come
her.
in and try to
Now,
stop
we
him.
know you killed her mother. Now
So,
just kill her.
Just
and
be
done with it.
prepared. Just be prepared for that, because normally when
Taking
enemies
way
talk
too
this
long to do
long,
this.
somebody's gonna come in. Yep,
Yep, that's
see?
what you get.
You see how he came in and did that? That's because he was talking so long. See, if he would have just shot the gun in the first place, then she would be dead. But she had to talk so much. See, this is why evil can't win, because evil talk too damn much. She need to put some clothes on. So yeah, Rebecca is remembering that in her mind, that is her father. And that is her father. It's kind of weird that Diamante didn't show his actual devil fruit, even though he has it. That's why I've been explaining it this whole time, even though it sucks. Because you're probably wondering, why is he like an executive of his family?
Diamante, swing the sword. Swing it.
And
Now. Swing it. Swing it.
Why is he an executive? How is he that powerful? It's like, yeah, because he has a devil fruit. And he doesn't show it, but that's why I wanted to explain it. Because they don't show it in this game. So yeah, I'm almost at the plateau, and since I took out Pika, getting on the stone of it would probably be pretty easy. And I have 5 minutes left, so I hope my time doesn't go into fighting Doflamingo. Like, I hope I don't have to go up here. I hope I don't have to go through all this and then fight Doflamingo
and beat him all in 5 minutes, because I doubt I can do that. Because of Law's ability and his attacking, I don't think I'll be able to do it that fast. I mean, look how he's attacking. Then now I do understand that some people are good with some characters. Heck, I might not be that good with Law. I might be good with some other people. And people who play with people like Luffy or Zoro or Sanji, you might say, oh, I'm not good at them because I'm not good at speed types. I'm good with people with like more of a power aspect behind them. And I understand that. Everyone's not good with certain characters. Everyone has their own fighting style. I doubt that was a real Doflamingo. That was probably like a clone. Where am I going? Oh! I just noticed Law's ability sucks people in like the middle area of his circle. So I guess I have to go upstairs. So will the timer stop? Well, I guess since I made it up here and the time's not stopping, it's probably not going to stop in the first place. Okay, well here it is. Now I'm going to stop it here. I'm going to let you know that on this game, I'm going to show you two endings. Law's ending and Luffy's ending. Because I play with both. And since this is the last fight, I didn't know it was the last fight, so yeah. So this is Law versus Doflamingo. Because since this is the last fight, I want to play as Luffy, and you'll see why in just a moment. These multicolored strings. Even though that attack was supposed to cut skin, but I guess this game doesn't really show blood. See, Doflamingo took too long. Okay, in this moment, Doflamingo has the ability to just bring his foot down and crush Law's head. I don't know why he's not, because he's twice as big as Luffy. And this part here, Luffy's just pushing his foot sideways. He can still put his foot downwards. And like all his weight isn't being supported by Luffy. But yeah, both their Conqueror's Haki is colliding. You know that Haki that if you use it, it makes people faint? That's what that is. Oh my goodness. I have like 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat him. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna beat him. Like if I had more time, yes, but no, I don't think I'm gonna beat him like this. Yeah, that did like little to nothing. That didn't do anything either. Well, it did something. I mean, well, something's better than nothing, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not gonna win. And this part right here was like important in the anime because it's like, oh, Doflamingo's close to beating Luffy. What's Luffy gonna do? And then so he uses his 2-year training and his ability to control Haki, and he unlocks not unlocks, but he uses his second form. So what he does is he essentially fills his arm with Haki. He turns his arm black, bites his arm, and inflates his muscles with Haki, so that makes his body transform into some big sumo-looking thing. So this is Gear 4. Gear 4 is basically focusing more on what's that word? I'm at a loss for words. It focuses on his elasticity and what is that word? It's basically when you stretch a rubber band out and you let it go, and that power behind that power when it hits your finger. That's basically what it is. I can't really explain it, but all those moves are named after, like, I guess, old guns like Culverine, Oregon Gun, other things. I don't know. There's Kong Gun and King Kong Gun, which you're gonna see in just a moment. Because I am about to lose. Like, how much time do I have left? Like, I have 1 minute and 38 seconds left. I am not gonna win. He's at like almost. I didn't even shrink his health past like half. Like, I'm definitely gonna lose. I mean, I could just restart it, but I just want to see what happens. Because I'm at 1 minute. Ooh, I'm at 1 minute and 6 seconds. I think I can do this. Okay. Oh shoot, I think he was shielded up. No, he wasn't. Okay, so this is his awakening. So every Paramecia Devil Fruit user has some type of awakening. So they can awaken their Devil Fruit to give them like powers, I guess, or more powers. And Doflamingo, he has the ability to turn everything around him into strings, and then he can control said strings to do his bidding. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, guess that's the end of that. Everyone dies. Game over. Animation in. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and play as Luffy's part, because I want to use Gear 4 and I think I'm better as Luffy. So this is Luffy versus Doflamingo. Let me see. See, now I don't have to use that room anymore. I think I'm much better off without it. Also, just to explain, you might have noticed I have more time, because I realized in the last mission, or in the last part, when I played as Law, I knew that I was supposed to beat people to get more time. I didn't know that there were more people to beat to give me more time. So yeah, this is Gear 4. Look at those air combos. See, this is what Luffy should have been doing, like, while I was playing. I hope this becomes like an awakening. Like, I would use this. That right there was Leo Bazooka. Oh, I'm doing much better. No, I think it's too late for that. I like how he spreads his arm out when he does that move. When he starts flying. If I take his shields out, will his awakening go away or no? Well, nope, that answers that question. I don't see the purpose that his awakening is doing. Oh, I guess like I'm not supposed to touch it? Or just watch the ground, I guess? But I'm like close to winning. All I need to do is hit him with one more special. There we go. Leo Bazooka. Bang! There we go. So this is the conclusion of the fight. So he inflates his arm to get bigger to use King Kong gun. So he's like, oh look, I'm gonna shield myself, but I'm gonna use my my attack of 16 God threads to push you back. And then he shoots it, and it's like, oh look, it's a collision. And then he like pushes it back, and then Luffy just takes his King Kong gun, and then he goes through his spider web, and then he like bursts through, and his fist, I think you'll see it here, but his fist like gets planted right in his face like that, and his Doflamingo's glasses break. So that was the that would signify like the end, like, oh, he's not getting back up. And then yeah, the birdcage had disappeared, so they won. So this is, I guess, like the aftermath. So to explain what's going to go on in the next video, what's going to happen is that even though they beat Doflamingo, they have to get off the island though, because there are Marines on the island. Like, remember Fujitora, the admiral? He's still on the island. So Sabo, since he got what he came for, he has to go back to Dragon and report back. And he wanted to talk to Luffy more, but he can't because I guess duty calls. But this is his whole crew's first time meeting his older brother or his brother. But if you think about it, certain people didn't get to meet him. Like Nami didn't get to meet him. Chopper didn't get to meet him. Robin did. Brooke didn't get to meet him. There's people that didn't get to meet Sabo, but I think everyone met Ace. Come to think of it, I don't think Brooke met any of Luffy's brothers before. I think up to this day, Brooke hasn't really met any of Luffy's brothers, because Brooke wasn't recruited in Alabasta. So Brooke was recruited around the Thriller Bark arc with Moria. But I'll get to that later. This is the end of the video. Please like
and subscribe, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
Wait. 6? This dude's blind. You can't even see. How the hell? You know what? Never mind.